Good morning. My name is Michael Whitney, and I'm doing my oral presentation on acquiring new pieces of equipment for the hospital. Reading the case study, it states that the hospital has had a history of purchasing equipment that was poor equipment, and the hospital has lost millions of dollars because of purchasing this equipment. One way to remedy this is to get with vendors and get different samples of the equipment before actually purchasing that equipment. That way you can get the equipment out to the staff. The staff can use it at the bedside and see pros and cons and give the management a list of what they like and don't like about the equipment. There have been different instances of this in the past. There's been ventilator circuits that have been trialed and at my facility, and we found out that some of the ventilator circuits had too much rain out in the circuit, and it didn't work for our patients because we were worried about the rain out and breaking the circuit and then possibly causing VAPs, and then the hospital will lose even more money. We are in the process of trying to prevent VAEs at this time and prevent potential VAPs. So right now we actually have 3 different manufacturers of subglottic ET tubes. Right now we just use regular ET tubes without subglottic suctioning. So we're in the process of getting those ET tubes into the facility and utilizing those on patients and seeing which patients may have a lower instances of VAEs that might potentially lead to VAPs. There's different ones with there's some with PVC cuffs like traditional, and there's some with polyurethane cuffs that seem to be able to prevent those very, very micro secretions from entering the lungs from the oral cavity. So utilizing purchasing and receiving and getting those samples of equipment into the hospital to trial to see the pros and cons before you even purchase them is one of the best ways to make sure that your equipment is up to date and it's proper and it's not a bad equipment, and the hospital themselves can utilize it in the long run. Another way is to make sure that you have your equipment set up through purchasing and receiving, and that you're utilizing and you're not getting like replacement items. So you want to make sure that you have a good relationship with your vendors, so that if they're out of an item, they let you know. If they're going to run low on an item, they let you know far enough in advance that you don't have to have replacement items come in. So those replacement items might not be the items that you normally get into the hospital, and and then those replacement items might not be the same quality that you use, and then you end up losing money because you end up having patient issues because of those replacement items that you get in the hospital. So you need to make sure that we trial the equipment on patients before you buy it, or trial the equipment if it's not a patient item then in the hospital, to make sure the staff likes it and utilizes it well. You make sure you have a working relationship with your vendors and your purchasing and receiving department to ensure that you always have the proper equipment and don't have replacement items coming through the hospital. That's one way that you can make sure that the hospital is not losing millions of dollars on purchasing bad equipment. Thank you.